Hi cuties! It's time for some readathons! My schedule is getting filled with readathons. We're gonna talk about two of them today. The first of which is Contemporaryathon! This is a week-long readathon starting on September 23rd, and there are 7 challenges which you may double up on. Thank goodness, because life is really busy. I don't know why I'm very singy today, but I am. I'm trying to finish writing a book and getting ready for NaNoWriMo. I'm working a lot. I'm reading a lot. I'm still working on that painting. Without further ado, let's talk about Contemporaryathon and the challenges and the books that I'm going to try to read during it. Very hand gesture-y today. The first challenge is to read a book that was published in 2019. I have chosen an ebook that I recently got, which is Screen Queens by Lori Goldstein. The description of this book says that it is The Bold Type Meets The Social Network, a show and a movie I've never seen. So we'll see what I like about this. But it follows 3 girls who join a competition called Valley Start, I think. And it's a tech incubator competition, basically. So they're all computer geniuses going into this competition. And that's all I know about it. The second challenge is to read a book with yellow on the cover. Since the last readathon, I felt bad because I was supposed to read something with purple on the cover. And I chose a book with the tiniest amount and then later realized it was probably pink. So for the yellow challenge, we're going with The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. And I'm gonna be real, this is kind of more of a yellow-green, but other people have chosen this for this challenge, so it's yellow enough. The third challenge is to read a diverse book, and I've chosen an audiobook for this one, and that is The Bride Test by Helen Huang. So this story involves a character who is autistic, and his mother really wants him to get married and fall in love, but because of his autism, he experiences emotions differently, and he doesn't think that's ever going to happen. So mom goes to Vietnam and tries to find him a bride. I guess via this test, I'm not entirely sure. She does find someone who now comes back to America, and the two of them try to have a relationship, even though Kai, I believe his name, is pretty convinced he's not gonna feel emotions like that. But you know, this is a contemporary romance after all, so probably gonna fall in love. This book has a lot of people chatting about it. I'm very excited to read it, so let's see if I can. The next category is to read a book with an illustrated cover. I have chosen Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. I loved her book Eliza and Her Monsters last year. You guys all know it. It was my favorite of 2018. I'm ready for some more. And she has another book coming out October 1st. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Made You Up, which deals with a main character who has schizophrenia. And that's really all I know about it because, like, the description, it gives you a little scene, but otherwise, there's no real description in this book, and it's beautiful, and I love the colors on both sides, just beautiful, and I really want to read it. The next challenge is to read a dark or hard-hitting book, and I have chosen A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi. So this is set in 2002, a year after 9/11 has happened. It follows the story of a Muslim girl, and it's kind of the story of her, and it's her story of dealing with being a Muslim in America at that time. And right now, let's be real. Oh, that's all I really know about it. It is an extremely popular book across BookTube. So I'm finally getting to read it. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. The 6th challenge is to read a book with plants on the cover. And I've got another audiobook for myself, and that is P.S. I Like You by Casey West. I actually got this book in an owl crate a long time ago, but I wasn't into contemporary at all then, so I actually sold it. And now here I am going to read it. So this, I believe, will be a very tropey standard of YA contemporary romance. It involves a girl named Lily who scribbles song lyrics onto her desk, and then the next time she's in class, someone has responded to those lyrics, continuing them. And that's all I know about it, but I'm already like, I see how this is going. This will probably just be a really quick, really cute read. And the last challenge is to read a book beloved by the community. The BookTube community, I assume. And so I have chosen an ebook, which is Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. This one's been around a bit, and it's one that I've seen pop up a lot. It deals with a girl who is fighting against her school for the dress code. And that's all I know about it. I just know it's super popular, and it's a stop policing women's bodies movement. So there you go. It's a week-long thing. I've chosen 7 books. There is a good chance I will not get to all of them, which is why a lot of them overlap. If you want to join Contemporaryathon, I'm gonna help you out. A Very Large Expanse of Sea covers 4 categories. Hard-hitting, yellow on the cover, it's diverse, and it's beloved by the BookTube community. 4. The Bride Test also covers 4, aside from being a diverse book, published in 2019, it's got yellow on the cover, and it's illustrated. Moxie covers 3 categories. Beloved by the community, it's illustrated, and it's also, I think, hard-hitting. Female of the Species, yellow, illustrated, hard-hitting. I realize I didn't actually tell you a synopsis for this, but it deals with rape culture and murder. Made You Up is not only illustrated, it is also hard-hitting. This I'm also putting as diverse because of disability awareness. Screen Queens also counts with yellow on the cover and is illustrated. I think P.S. I Like You is the only one that's number 6 because it has grass on the cover. I literally did not have any other books with plants on the cover. So that was Contemporaryathon. About 2-ish weeks after Contemporaryathon is Spookathon. This is hosted by Books and Lala. It starts October 14th. It's another week long, but there's less challenges, so it's a lot easier to complete. So Spookathon is all about like thriller books and spooky books. So I have picked 4 physical books and 1 ebook. It might change because I might go buy the physical book. The first challenge of Spookathon is to read a thriller. I don't really own thrillers, so I had to dig. Thank you to Barnes & Noble's book blowout sale. I found The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I'm gonna give you the synopsis because I don't know how to explain this well. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. I don't even know, but we're gonna try to read it. The next challenge is to read a book with red on the cover. So I have chosen The Poison Garden by Sarah Singleton. This is one that I picked up when I was in Ireland. It's about a boy who is left a magical box by his grandmother and gains entry to her poison garden. And grandma was involved with a secret society that ran this garden, and she died in it. Ooh. And other people in this whole community are being murdered. So he's gotta solve that mystery. Next challenge is to read a book with a spooky word in the title. And this is my ebook, which is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. And this deals with witches. The spooky word I've chosen in this one is serpent. Snakes are spoopy, okay? But this deals with a witch who is running from her coven. And that's all I know about it. The next challenge is to read a book with a spooky setting. I have chosen And the Trees Crept In by Dawn Kurtikich. It's in the wood. The woods are spoopy. According to this, it also deals with a spoopy manor. I know it's weird that I'm a 32-year-old lady and I still say the word spoopy, but it's my thing, so don't judge me. Scylla and Nori, which it's gonna be hard for me to read the name Nori and not think of seaweed. The girl's name is Seaweed. That's what I think. But they go to their aunt's creepy manor, and they're not allowed to go to the woods. Oh, there's a beautiful boy who's appeared from the woods, and a tall man with no eyes, but Nori plays with in the basement at night. A man no one else can see. Okay, I didn't really read a lot about this. I just knew it was spoopy and I've owned it for a long time and should probably read it. And the last category is to read a book you normally wouldn't read. And I have chosen Toil and Trouble, 15 Tales of Women in Witchcraft. Now it seems like, oh, you already own this book. Obviously we're gonna read it, which is true, but I don't normally read short stories, so here we are. It's got a whole bunch of authors in it. One who I super duper love. I love her writing. Yet again, we have double up. Spoopy word on the cover, obviously, and I'm assuming spooky settings because witchcraft. Poison Garden also has spoopy word, poison, spooky setting, thriller, Evelyn Hardcastle, red on the cover, wouldn't normally read because it's an adult book, and spooky word, death, it's right there. Evelyn Hardcastle is all 5, so if anything, I have to read this book. And the trees crept in, spooky word is crept. Creeping is a spooky word, I think. That's all you give me. And Serpent of Dove, I'm also assuming is a spooky setting and a thriller of some sort. I don't know until I read it though. So those are the 2 readathons coming up in my schedule. There are more coming. Ah! And NaNoWriMo. Ah! I'm fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about me. If you guys want to participate in any of these readathons, links are in the description to the creators of these readathons. If you are, tell me what you're gonna read. Make a video. Link me in it. I want to see what you're reading. And maybe you can find one contemporary book that covers all the categories. And then let me know so I can do that. And leave your comments and questions down below or on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter. I'll see you next time, cuties. Bye! I was trying to do it fast enough so that he wouldn't screech, but it's really hard having a bird.